Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all in between. It is me, Biff Strange, your friendly neighborhood engineer. Today we've got on rock journalist Fred Bonanno. Take it away, boys.
Wow. Biff showed up with energy today. Oh, what's happening?
How we doing, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, all in between, what's happening? I am your host, V, and my Neanderthal knuckle-dragging co-host, and my quote-unquote little brother, if I had one, Mr. Jason Clark. What's up, man?
You know, the usual.
How was your week?
Yeah, we clawed our way through it. You know, nothing to write home about. You know, just a lot of traffic and F words.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of those today.
Yeah.
I was in the car for like 1 minute, and like by the, I'm like,
you try to not go there, but they just bring it out of you, man.
dude, you know what it is? If you can't parallel park, you can't fucking drive. Like, just take Uber, take a bus, get one of them one-wheel dealy thingy, whatever's,
Yeah.
Things that the kids are playing these days.
But, and remember, boys and girls, beef. It's what's for dinner.
Oh, Sam.
Uh-huh. But you've been watching 1923 at all?
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's weird to see Harrison Ford at 80 because he's looking it in this one.
Yes, he sure is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Got that little bit of a bravado missing, but hey, what are you gonna do at 80?
It gets us all in the end, man. I just
proof.
I watched. It's been out for a while, but the last, I think it's the last Clint Eastwood movie, Cry Macho, I think it was called.
Okay.
And same deal. He's in his 90s, and he's looking like a 90.
Dude, that guy. He never goes over budget. They work an 8-hour day. His crew is the most well-oiled crew in like the history of Hollywood. Everyone loves working with the guy.
Yeah,
8 hours, one and done.
Nice. Yeah, it was. But like growing up watching the old, Dirty Harry flicks from the 70s. When he was, you can just, it's a little bittersweet. You seeing these guys aging out a little bit,
Yeah, what you got there, Larry? Oh, we got yourself an outlaw. Oh, yeah? Oh, we got yourself a George Wales. Yeah, Clint Eastwood's bad, man. But all right, so we have the first guest of the year, rock and roll journalist, heavy metal enthusiast, and fanatic, Mr. Fred Bonanno. What's up, Paisan?
Rock and roll, my brothers. How is everybody tonight?
Good, man. What's happening?
Thank you so much for having me on here tonight. Appreciate it. Vince, Jason.
Yeah.
Woke me up from a nice nap, but what the hell? What the hell else I got to do on a Saturday night?
So this is from the other night, me and Fred pre-gaming and talking about the show. And
Nice.
I actually do have eyes in my head. You just can't see them. But that has nothing to do with the alcohol intake that possibly
No. A little overserved.
possibly might have had. But yeah, a lot of good stories. And I'm not a bar guy, so hanging out at bars is kind of funny to me. So
it was the very first time I'd ever been in a bar too. It was amazing.
Yeah. But
so that's what all the hype's about, huh?
Right. Yeah. But it was there's always characters that you run into a bar that's that are funny. But all right, so Fred, let's talk about your love for heavy metal and how did that all begin? What was the song or the moment? Do you remember the moment?
Yeah, I was let's say 13, 14-ish, and I was at my best friend at the time, Richie Cole. Rest in peace, Richie. And we were hanging out with his sisters. They were a couple years older than us, and listening to Shelley Fabray's Johnny Angel and The Happenings, See You in September, and the Beach Boys. And that was my world of music until somebody introduced me to the very first Black Sabbath album. And I just went, I had an oh fuck moment. I love this. And I've been into heavy metal ever since. Never looked back.
Yeah.
From Sabbath, that was Deep Purple, UFO, and then of course in the Priest and Queensryche and Metallica. I've just always been a metalhead.
Got that look, right? When you're a kid, you're like the look like you almost like took a shit and you're like
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. 1 minute I'm listening to Shelley Fabrice going Johnny Angel, and then I hear
Right. Isn't
oh
it
God,
amazing how just like
no.
one, 3 or 4 sounds linked together, just random fashion, and your life
Yeah,
changes.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's pretty much what got me into it. Like I said, I never looked back, and that's all I listen to. I'm very like this when it comes to music. I'm strictly heavy metal and hard rock. That's all I listen to nowadays. That's all I've ever listened to,
Nice.
and it just that's what I love. I can't listen to anything else. You know, we got a lot of friends that are in other bands, and you
Right.
go there to be supportive, but you're like, all right, when's this over?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And as much as I love heavy metal, of course, big fan. I'm diverse in my musical interests, but I don't understand screamo. It's not for me, myself. But I know a lot of people fucking love it. Good for them. I just don't get it, and I'd rather listen to someone like Jeff Tate or Rob Halford.
Oh yeah,
or
absolutely.
pick a
I'm with
hundred.
you there.
Yeah.
It's
And I
just
think we talked about Thursday night. I don't get the Cookie Monster rock. I call it. With that. I don't understand that.
cookie.
Yeah, but some people love it. It's pretty popular.
Oh,
But
yeah.
give me the old, 80s metal, and there's a lot of great stuff out there too nowadays. I've discovered a lot more great stuff out there now that I never knew about.
Yeah, and that's like doing the tunage stuff now. Man, I'm finding all these groups. I'm like, what? Like the first 2 for next week came pretty early, and I'm like, okay, we'll do those. And then I was like, I wanted to hand pick one real specific. I wanted it to be really hard rocking melodic metal tune. And so we're going to dedicate this to the Sacramento Maidens of Metal. Thank you, ladies. Big fans of ours, so we appreciate it. But yeah, and it's so exciting to find new stuff. I mean, I'm 53. I missed a lot of music. Fred, you got a couple of months on me.
Yeah, a little bit.
You've missed music too, not on purpose. It just there's so much out there.
Right.
And to find something, like finding artists with like 10, 13 albums, and you're like, what?
Where have I been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? Like,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
God. And you're like, hell yeah. So in some ways I feel like, like I said, that import section, I feel like a kid again, finding all this new music.
Well, I'll give you one this week. Now, the band Kingdom Come, right?
Yeah.
I loved the first 2 albums back in the day, but somewhere along the line,
yeah,
I fell asleep on them, or I was listening to other stuff. The other day, I was like, I was in the truck driving all day, and I'm like, let me throw some Kingdom Come on. There was all these albums that I didn't even know about, like, throughout like the 90s and early 2000s, and loaded with great stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, holy cow, man. I could have been
Yeah,
listening to
that's
this all
what-
along.
Yeah, and
Dora Pesh. I love Dora Pesh
Yeah.
from
hell
Warlock.
yeah.
I had no idea she's got something like 12 albums out or something. I had no idea.
Right.
So now you got to go back in the archives and start listening to them and go, shit, look at all the stuff I've been missing.
Right.
Yeah, I love Dora Pesh.
Yeah. I met her, remember back in the day. At the Summers on the Beach back in the day. Yeah, she played there, and it was great stuff. Got to meet her after the show. She's fantastic.
Yeah, we got to see a lot of good shows there. And what was cool is Robin Trower was local, so he'd play there like every Tuesday or every other.
Nice.
Yeah, so like whatever. Oh, hey, nothing's going on. Oh, fuck, Trower's playing it. So we'd go.
Something to do.
Let's go see Trower.
Go to lights, man. I mean, he, that's one of the guys that his band is so underrated. They're in a kind of like a weird position of.
Genre kind of,
yeah,
great player. Yeah,
oh for sure.
Yeah,
so but you still listen to classic rock as well, right, Fred? Or is it?
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely.
So it's rock and roll, but you love heavy metal, but you don't. When you say this, it means
I mean,
a guy or
well, yeah. I mean, I can listen to Boston, and Bad Company, and Firehouse, the rock and roll. I can still listen to that. I mean, I was brought up on that. I mean, I grew up with Boston and Bad Company and Aerosmith, early Aerosmith. I don't care for Aerosmith now, but I liked early Aerosmith. So yeah, I can still listen to that. But like I said, anything else, forget it. And I'm very lucky because my wife likes metal too. My wife likes everything under the sun,
Awesome.
but she likes metal too. So she's my partner in crime when we go to concerts. And we go to a lot of concerts. And thank God, because people my age, my friends, none of them are really into metal music anymore. And if they kind of are, they don't. I don't want to go to a concert. So my wife and I go to quite a few concerts, and I'm lucky that she's a metalhead too, and she can listen to country, or pop, but then she's also into Dio and Queensryche and the other stuff that I am too. So that helps a lot.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Okay, so you wound up being a music lover. You got into metal. So were you like a Black Sabbath ride or die guy, or were you open to all of it, or were you like initially like these are my three guys, Priest, Sabbath and Purple maybe, or whatever it was,
Yeah, well, my favorite all-time band has got to be Priest, with Queensryche right behind him, and then Sabbath, Ozzy, Dio, Talkin, Metallica. I try so hard to get into Megadeth. It's just when Dave Mustaine starts singing, he loses me because he's such a great guitar player, but he ought to hand the vocals over to somebody else.
Oh my God.
I loved early AC/DC. But yeah, I mean, UFO, I'm just looking at the wall here. Some of the bands, Nuge, Alice Cooper, there's just so many great bands out there, and they're still great. The problem is when we go to concerts to see them, there's only one, maybe two original members left.
Right.
And, that's expected. These guys are in their 70s. You can't have, they're not the Rolling Stones. They don't have everybody out there.
So I've had this long decades running joke that when it comes to Dave Mustaine and his singing, I love Megadeth and everything, but anything that Dave Mustaine says, you could literally turn into a song, like literally anything, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. It's already,
got him down.
He sells already, it's like printed, boys. But I think I
always just wonder how different Metallica would have been if he stayed with them and did the singing. I mean, what kind of sound would that have created? Because I know Hetfield said he really didn't want to be the singer and kind of forced into it.
Yeah,
that's their sound now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like hypotheticals. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. Because it would be, but we wouldn't. The Metallica wouldn't be as huge. Probably they would have done 3 albums, burnt out. Someone else would have died of a drug overdose or something, and fight arrests. Something.
Right.
Obviously it was bad juju right from the start. But
yeah.
But yeah, Metallica is the biggest band in the world, man.
I know they're coming. Is it next year for the 2 shows? And they're playing 2 different sets, both shows, 2 different backups.
Yeah, that was pretty smart. So basically, the new Metallica tour, the way that it works, that you buy 1 ticket, and so show 1 is on Friday. Okay, so on Friday night you go down. I don't know, are they playing Soldier Field?
Mm-hmm.
So you go down. You go down to the lakefront, and they have a whole set and stage show for Friday. Then you come back Sunday, entirely different song list. So entirely different set with show stage. Wow. But at least they're giving, it's probably a little bit, more than usual, but at least they're giving people.
It's got to be
always walk away from a Metallica show fucking going, yeah.
Yeah. But man, can you imagine the money they're spending? I mean, hauling that kind of gear around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the funniest stories I got with Metallica is, and I think my 2 buddies might even, hopefully are watching tonight. They know the story. I got 2 super close friends of mine, Bill and Steve, and they're not metalheads at all. Hey, Rat Man and Eggs, woo! So we decided, for the hell of it once, let's each go to a concert of our choosing. And I got to choose first, so I took them to see Metallica at the old Chicago, might have been the United Center at the time, I don't even know. I took them to see that, and seriously, halfway through the concert, they both got up and said, "We can't take this anymore. We have to go out in the lobby." And they couldn't finish the show. And Steve told me, he goes, "I was sick for like 2 or 3 days." Like, "Are you serious?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I can't take that. How do you take that music?" So apparently they're not coming to the dark side. They had their share of Metallica for one night, and that pretty much did them in.
Yeah,
That did them in.
So what did they take you to? What shows did they pick?
Well, Bill took us to a blues bar downtown. And the funny thing about that was it was just all white people there with the one blues guy up there. And I was joking around going, you know, the kids in the audience here, the blues to them is, oh, the Beamer's low on gas. You know, that's their idea of the blues.
Right.
And then Steve made us go to see Genesis.
Genesis. Okay.
And it was the end of their world tour. And I think Phil Collins was there.
Yeah.
It was I think it was the last show of their world tour. And they looked like they're looking at their watches going, God, when do we get out of here? Even Steve said they didn't look like they wanted to be there. So
yeah.
I guess I really didn't get to see the Genesis. So
right.
Those were the two they chose. It was fun. And now they don't want to do it again because I brought the idea up again and they said, no.
Yeah, no.
We're not going to another metal concert.
Yeah. And you're like, but Slayer's retired, so you won't.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
maybe Anthrax, but yeah, maybe they like Queensryche.
You know, I've taken a few friends to Queensryche.
You know,
that has said, "What's all this? Why do you guys see Queensryche every time they come to town and come?" And they get into them enough. They get into them enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, great band, man.
Oh yeah,
both versions.
Yeah, and let's raise our glasses. Happy birthday, Jeff Tate, today.
Oh, really?
64 years young.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
Happy birthday, Jeff. If it wasn't for the song "Take Hold of the Flame," I'd probably be dead.
One of my favorites.
Very much. Yeah. Seriously, you know, awesome.
Yeah, so, that first EP was phenomenal. I mean,
oh yeah.
There's my wife, and that's the last in line.
Yeah, look at
Vinny
Vinny.
Peace,
Yeah,
Vivian Campbell,
Phil
Andrew
Susan.
Freeman, and Phil Susan. Yeah, that was on their tour bus.
Oh, nice.
Right on.
They were so cool. Vivian Campbell and Vinny Peace is so cool. He is just such a cool guy.
Right.
He's such a cool guy. Actually, here's. I was gonna say that's his drumstick, but it's not.
Yeah, there's the boys.
Oh,
it's when Parker was still in the.
Oh, there's Queensryche. Yeah, that's Queensryche.
Yeah.
It's Latore and Wilton and
Parker Lundgren.
Eddie Jackson. Parker. Yeah, Parker Lundgren. I don't think he's with them anymore. I think he got replaced.
No. Mike Stone's back with them.
Yeah,
Stone's back with him. Right.
Parker's got Diablo guitars going on at the. He's got a killer guitar store out.
Yeah, his guitar stuff looks really badass. I like to actually have him on. You know.
Oh man, that'd be killer.
He was totally cool guy, man.
I drool. I'm always on his site, you know, checking out what he's got.
And now this is this Tate's guitar player?
This is Jeff Tate's guitar player, Kieran Robinson.
Yeah.
This was from Robertson. This was from the Seattle. We went on. I'll get into that later. The tour company that Jeff runs, and Kieran is one of the nicest, funniest guys I've ever met. Every other word out of his mouth is fuck, but he is so funny, and he's a great shredder. And he was wearing those pants. It was the last night of the tour. They were doing a show, and he split them. And he said, "I got to retire these pants." So I said, "Well, I'll take them. I collect memorabilia and autographs." So the end of the show, he signed them for me, put on there, "Fred, you rock," and I brought them home. And of course, as soon as I got them home, my wife goes, "What is that smell?" I go, "I think it's these pants." Now imagine leather pants that he's probably been sweating in for
weeks.
Couple of months.
Right.
So literally, I had to put him outside and let the air get to him and Febreze the shit out of him. And finally, the smell went away. And then I brought him in and I go, "Look at this. I could barely get my arm in his pant leg."
Right.
That's how skinny his legs are. So I got him up on the wall here just because it's such a cool little piece of memorabilia. I mean, his red leather pants. What the hell? And he is one of the nicest guys. He is so funny.
All right.
So made us laugh the whole time.
Run down for us all the guitars you got there behind you.
Well, let's see.
And who signed them and stuff.
This is UFO with Phil Moog, Vinnie Moore. And I don't think Paul Raymond was there. This one over here, the red one, it's got Nita Strauss on it.
Oh, nice.
Frank Domino and Punky Meadows from Angel. It's got Jeff Tate on it, Frank Hanna from Tesla.
Yep.
This one over here's got Tate, Nita Strauss, and Rob Halford. And then this white one over there. Oh, this one here. That one over there is it's got Kip Winger and Sebastian Bach. And then I've got one over there with the band Firehouse and another one with the band Last in Line. Got one over here with Alice Cooper. So
nice. The Firehouse guitar. Did you happen to win that at a raffle by chance at a Firehouse gig?
No, that was from a meet and greet. I brought the guitar in and they all signed them. Those guys are the nicest guys, Firehouse. They are just super nice guys.
Pat Catalano, we do the album by album crossover every month. His band Catalano and Firehouse did a Toys for Tots show and fundraiser in Chicago. That's actually how I met him. But because my buddy Dean Presley was singing for him. But
okay, all right.
But Firehouse is those guys are pretty cool for sure. Okay, so then on the other way, what's the white? White with black pickguard. Yeah, on this side. Yeah.
Let's see. Over here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Firehouse one right there.
Oh, okay.
That's the band Firehouse. This has got. This might be Ian Gillan. I'd have to look at my list, but Ian Gillan and I think this is. I think this is the Queensryche one. It's got Tate, and then it's got the members now of Queensryche.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
nice.
So I have to write them all down because these guys scribble. Nobody signs anything legible anymore. I mean, it's all scribble. It's just like, come on, guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I've been collecting autographs since I was 14, mostly sports back then because I was a huge sports guy, and it's involved now in the music, album covers, albums. It's just fun still doing it. Eventually, I know I'm gonna have to start liquidating it all because if something happens to me, wife's gonna go, I don't know what to do with this stuff. So
yeah,
but it's fun, and it's great to meet these guys because you're talking about.
Did you work with the sports organization?
I actually did. I was a bat boy for the White Sox for 3 years.
That's
Again,
awesome.
my buddy Steve Rataiki. Hi, Steve. He got me hooked up with this. He was a bat boy for the White Sox, and he said, "There's an opening. You interested?" And even though I was a diehard Cub fan, he said,
"Right,
you want in?" And I said, "Hell yeah!" So I was a bat boy for 3 years, and it was the most incredible experience of a lifetime. You can imagine being 17 years old, 16 years old, and meeting all these stars, the major stars back then. And it was an incredible, and you're on the field with them, and it was just an incredible experience. It really was. I got a lot of autographs, but great memories, just incredible memories.
Nice. So you started collecting with sports, and then you moved into music, and that just naturally grew.
Yeah, and I'm probably more music now than sports. But I actually have so much. This room that I'm in now used to be every inch was covered in sports stuff, and I took it all down and put it all up music now. So I switched about 2 years ago, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the stuff. I got jerseys, I got baseballs, I got helmets, I got hockey pucks. So it's all eventually got to be liquidated.
Yeah,
stuff gotta.
Yeah, but it's fun. I still get a kick out of getting autographs. And I used to bring my daughter with me. My daughter's 34 now, but I used to bring her with me, and the guys would get a kick out of that. Hi, honey, and I'd give her a little hug, and that. So it was always fun.
Yeah,
right on. All right, let's go down here, Mr. Sebastian Bach.
No, that's Sebastian Bach. Yeah, that was on his tour bus too, and he spent probably a good 45 minutes with the group. There were like 10 of us in there, and he just sat there and talked music. And it was so cool, and it was just so nice. Sign whatever you had, and he was just such a cool guy. I just really got a kick out of him.
Right on.
Nita.
Oh, that's Nita. Yeah,
and Angel Vivaldi too, right?
Yes, very good. Yeah, that was at about 3 or 4 years ago at God, where was it? Somewhere in Oak Park or something, I forgot. And she just shredded the place. And now her meet and greets, she sits there for an hour, and answers all the questions,
Yeah.
talks to everybody, signs whatever. She is just so genuine and so sweet.
Mm.
And then here we have local legend.
Yeah, that was in Walgreens. I mean, you see a guy with purple hair, you kind of figure it's Jim Peterick. So I just said, "Hey, Jim, what's up?" And he said, "I'm going to a show tonight at North Central College." I go, "Well, we got to get a picture." So
Yeah, so he wrote Vehicle and many other songs, including Eye of the Tiger. And
yeah, I just saw him last year at Johnny Cab's in Burr Ridge, and he put on a really good show. He's a very talented guy. He wrote a ton of hits. Wrote a ton of hits.
So here's Angel, right?
Yeah, Angel.
Oh, wow.
There's Punky and Frank Domino. Yeah. It was funny because I saw them for the very first time at the Elmhurst Ice Rink when Nugent first released his first solo album with Stranglehold on it.
Yeah.
And Angel came out. I'd never heard of them. I don't think anybody did. And they came out with the smoke and these all in their white outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And they just blew the place away. It was an ice rink in Elmhurst, Illinois.
Yeah.
And I went out the next day and picked up the album. And so when they were at the Arcata Theater a couple of years ago, I said, I got to get an autograph. And the tour manager said, well, they're not signing. I said, but I got it. And I told her the story. She goes, okay. So she brought me back there and I told her the story. Remember back in Nugent in Elmhurst, Illinois, this was 35 years ago, whatever. They both go, oh, yeah, I remember that concert. I'm thinking, no, you don't. Come on, dudes.
Right.
But they were nice enough to sign. So it was really cool.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, hold on a second. We got to take a quick break. We'll be back in a second.
The Book of Vito Bupkis.
Hey, everybody, it's your pal Vito. In this book, I talk about subjects people seem to get their panties in a wad over. I mean, who would have thunk? Gay fucking marriage, common fucking sense, garage fucking sales. But hey, what do I know? Guaranteed to offend, and it's available now at vincentcustoffs.com. And, you can get it there.
The Book of Vito Bupkis.
So order yours today, or else.
One more.
This is Biff Strange, your friendly neighborhood engineer, and I'm here to announce CreatiVity Talkin's merchandise page. Fancy. Check out the designs we got up online there. We've got beanies, t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, and more. Just go to creativity-talkin.myspreadshop.com. Now that's what I call creativity talking.
All right. So, yeah. So, okay. So, we're going to go through some more of these picks here. Here's you and Mr. Kip Winger.
Yeah. Hell of a nice guy as well.
Yeah.
And they have a program out there called Cameo where you have to pay for it, of course. And a celebrity will do a minute and a half or so little speech directed to you. You give them all the stuff you want them to say. And my wife loves Kip Winger, especially young Kip Winger. I mean, who didn't love? I was in love with Kip Winger.
And that guy probably got more ass.
He was gorgeous.
That guy probably got more ass than a toilet seat, man.
I think he got more than me. I can tell you that much. But anyway, so my wife loved him, and he was such a nice guy. So for Christmas a couple of years ago, I did the Cameo video with him for my wife, and he did a really nice, like a minute 15, minute 30, and he just said, "Hi, Kelly, Fred, from your husband, Fred," and which is really cool. So he's a cool guy too.
Yeah, a friend of mine, her brother used to play with Kip. Now he's with Kiefer.
Yeah,
but good old
Don.
There's Donnie, yeah.
Good old Don.
You see that shirt I got on there? It says Celine Dion. And
that's what I thought.
It's, and it's this graphic metal design, and it's the letters are like dripping blood and stuff. And every time I wear that, people go, "Oh my God, Celine Dion, you like her?" And I go, "Oh yeah, I got this shirt from when she backed up Iron Maiden." And they go, "Really? She backed up Iron Maiden?" I go, "Think about it, people. No, it's like
it's a joke.
It's a joke."
Right.
Now there's Tommy Kiefer. Yeah. That was the same night. It was Kiefer and
Winger.
And Winger, it was a good show. He's a hell of a nice guy too. Very talented.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Great voice.
Oh, there's Marcy Flame. It's Michelangelo Bellato's girlfriend, but she plays with him. And that was just
gotcha.
You see something like that, you got to get a picture.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I
there you
remember
go.
Holland back in the day. What a great band.
Yeah. And it's George Lynch's guitar. He was
Yeah.
at the Arcada a few years ago, actually with Talkin. So they had it out there, and they said, "Anybody want to take a picture with it?" And I said, "Hell yeah, George
Right.
Lynch's guitar."
Absolutely. Oh, and by the way, happy 100th, Jason.
All right.
100th episode. There we
Amazing, huh?
go. Who would have thunk?
I mean, hey,
So-
there's Pete.
Yeah, Pete's Diary. He's a local guy.
Oh, he's up your way?
Yeah, he just played at place in Bolingbrook, the bar.
Tailgaters?
Yeah, and I missed it. I'm like, shit. So
Yeah, he's a great young guy. Man, I've been following him for a few years, man.
Yeah, I want to get him on the show. He's got a real great story, and he's a
Yeah.
really good player, man. And his
He is.
enthusiasm for music is fucking unstoppable.
Yeah.
You know, so that'd be cool to get him on. You know him, by the way, Fred? Have you met him yet?
No, I never heard of him. No, I'm surprised.
Yeah, he's got a
Is it-
he's got a medical condition. I forget what the name of it is. He's
Yeah,
had a rough go of it since he was a child. A lot of surgeries.
yeah. He's had
But-
like 30 plus surgeries.
Yeah.
He doesn't have an ear, so they've done all this reconstruct. And you know,
But
Oh boy.
amazing story, great attitude,
yeah, real positive guy. Great player too, man. Good
Yeah,
player. He's
rocks.
yeah.
You
And
know.
I know Jared James Nichols sent him a signature amp and a signature guitar. He you know, he's gotten a jam with him and some other guys, and
Yeah,
you know, the response from a lot of the the pros has been really good with him too. So
oh for sure.
Well, let's go. I'll have to check him out.
Yeah, he's
local,
got
you
a-
said, right?
yeah, he's got an Instagram page. I believe it's called Pete's Diary or something like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
All right. I'll definitely check him out. Always like to hear new, especially local guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you got in so then you're in high school. You're in high school basically when you found metal, right? 13, 14.
Yeah, yeah. High school, that was the 7 roughest years of my life, I tell you.
Right? I know.
Boom.
I got one more class I gotta do. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so okay, so you started hanging around with bands, or did you want to be in a
Not
band?
really. You know what? The crazy thing is, as much as I loved music, I was more involved in sports. So
Okay.
I never really veered off into the music end of it, which is surprising because I should have. You think it would have clicked, and I would have said, go this route, because I knew sports was going to lead to nothing other than playing softball for the next 35 years and hockey and, football and stuff, just pickup stuff and
Yeah.
leagues. But I really should have, and I just wasn't focused enough. And I was working full time then right after high school, and literally I was in 4 softball leagues a night and playing hockey and everything.
my
So
God.
I never focused enough on music, and that's one of my biggest regrets in life is that I didn't sit down and say, "Hey, dummy, you love it so much. Take some time to learn an instrument." And
Yeah.
that's my biggest regret. So I'm going to try now.
Well,
Not
you
too
know,
late,
we're enjoying too, so you know.
Never too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the old saying, life got in the way, which is
Yeah.
a lame excuse, but you're working, you're married, you got a kid.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's valid. That's a valid excuse.
What
for-
happens when you're busy making
Yeah.
plans?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
So yeah, so okay. We lost a icon
We did.
this week, Mr. Jeff Beck.
Yep.
And Jason, what do you got to say about Mr. Beck?
Man, he was a legend, right? I mean, what can you say? You know, he from the Yardbirds. I mean, and that we know what that ended up turning into. Granted, he had left and Jimmy was back in, and then sort of morphed into Led Zeppelin, right? But the guy, I mean, just one of a kind player. You knew it was him as soon as you heard him. Had his own thing, his own style. Just legend, right? That's the best way to describe him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His playing very unique.
Yep. A lot of whammy, just really, bombastic player, but
A lot of vibrato.
yeah.
Apparently he didn't like that Nigel was based on him.
Oh, really?
I guess it bothered him. But So, so I was going through and, checking out some Jeff Beck news. And I only saw this in one place. So I don't know if it's true or not. But if it is, this is how fucking badass is this? Life is for the living, death is for the dead. Let life be like music and death be like the note unsaid. The final words of Jeff Beck. That's pretty bad if that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like how could you not be any cooler? You know what I mean? I'll just cut this on my way out.
All right.
But
that's
he influenced everyone.
Yeah.
So basically, because I've been listening to a lot of Jeff Beck this week, so then I'm like, okay, now I understand Eddie Van Halen a lot more. Jeff Beck was one of my brother's favorite artists, so I heard a lot of Jeff Beck growing up, but I haven't lately,
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, Jeff Beck plus Billy Gibbons and Joe Walsh. There's Eddie Van Halen. Like that, like you mush those three together, and
with some Clapton in there. Eddie loved Eric too.
But Jeff was an amazing player, but maybe there might be a great performance coming later in the week. Actually, there is. On Wednesday, we'll have a Tunage great performance with Jeff Beck and Stevie Wonder doing Superstition. But okay, so then moving on. So you grew up. So then when did you start really getting into it, like meeting with the artists?
Well, let's backpedal. I never really grew up. So
well,
I've still never grown up. That's overrated.
That's right.
Yeah. Then after high school, I got a job. And
what do you mean? Da, 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 da.
He never goes anywhere without his toys.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. So I had a one daughter. She's 34, Brittany. Love her to death. She just moved to Ohio last year, so she's on to new and big adventures. My wife is in the other room listening to us. Hi, honey. We've been married for, I got to get this right, 40,
yeah, you
40
better.
years.
You better get it right.
40 years. We've been married for 40 wonderful years.
Throw a shoe at him.
Well, you know what? I thought it'd be funny if I dressed her up a little scantily tonight and did the old Sammy Hagar and go, when I needed a drink, go, waitress, and have her come in. I don't think that would have went over too well. So I said, I'm not even going to bring it up.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna duck out for 2 seconds and rehydrate myself.
All right, man.
All right.
Yeah. I once there was an actor that came on, and he did that. He had his dad play a butler, and his dad came in with the the towel over the arm,
yeah,
butler and everything. Had a tray for his drink and stuff.
Yeah. Cool. My one buddy Bill, I don't know if Bill's watching or not. He loves Sammy Hagar. And one year as a Halloween costume, he went as Sammy and his girlfriend went as the waitress. And of course, every time he needed a drink, he would do the old waitress, and she'd come out and bring him his drink. It was a pretty good costume. Yeah.
Nice. A couple of probably 10 years ago, when Breaking Bad was on, I was Walter White, so I did this whole thing. I looked just like him. And I had this Tyvek suit on and everything, and I had they came out with this new type of soap for washing your clothes that looked like the little pebbles of speed that they had on the show. So my son, I dressed him up as Pinkman. So I'd be like, Pinkman, and like he'd go, and he'd have like the bag of it, ready to give it to me and stuff. So yeah, that was
nice.
I love Halloween, man. That's like my Christmas. We did
it can be fun.
Show where everyone dressed up, and that was fun. And but let's see here.
He's back.
He's back. Hold on a second. There we go. Jason likes to be on top.
I was say.
That's where I do my best work.
Right. So if you hear the goats are screaming,
They don't scream anymore.
Jason's home. Give him a minute. He'll be in for the beer. Give him a second. But okay, so then when did you start like meeting and hanging out with the bands and getting to basically become friends with them? Because the 80s and the 90s and how big everything was is totally different than how it is today. It just runs differently. And
yeah, I mean, all the concerts
they're more
back
accessible,
then, everything was at the stadium or the Aragon Ballroom, as we used to call it, or the Amphetamine Theater. I mean, that was where you went for your concerts.
Myself.
Yeah, you heard
it
the Aragon Ballroom?
Yeah.
Dude, Motley Crue played there. Remember when Motley Crue played there and everyone tore the fucking seats out of the place? Everyone just raged.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I never went to a concert there. I never went to a concert there where a fight didn't break out somewhere. You'd be sitting there watching us and you'd get hit from behind. These two idiots
or the Vic Theater was another great place to see a show back in the day. Of course, the Thirsty Whale.
I was surprised at the Thirsty Whale, Brat Stop.
Yeah.
There were a place in Schaumburg that the guy from Chicago owned, Beginnings. Saw Ian Gillan's band there a couple of times. There were some great rock clubs.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it wasn't until about 10, 12 years ago, we discovered the Arcada Theater in St. Charles, which is run by Ron Onesti. I know we talked about that Thursday.
Yeah.
And it's a fabulous venue. It's an old movie theater that they turned into a concert hall. It seats about 900. They just spent several $1 million to renovate it. It's beautiful. But they just started getting bands galore. And that's where we've seen all these bands and all the meet and greets. Now, he has like 300 shows a year. So he'll have UFO there. And then the next night he'll have Paul Anka. And then the next night he'll have Engelbert Humperdinck, believe it or not. And then the next night he'll have Lee Greenwood and then Slaughter or somebody like that. So he's keeping metal alive. And then they were doing meet and greets. And the meet and greets where we get to meet all these guys. And just I've never had a bad experience in the meet and greets because they're just, I think the bands really appreciate the fact that the fans are still coming out to see them. They've been around for 40 years and still coming out to see them. And
for sure.
It's a much gentler crowd than it was back in the 70s when everybody was out of their minds.
Yeah, everyone went to rehab and settled in or settled out or,
Yeah, we're all getting a little long in the tooth these days, huh?
Yeah.
But it's all fun. But okay, so then how did you get into writing?
Well, I was fortunate enough to have retired last February.
Hey, let's go real quick.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, what?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, so my wife and daughter pretty much encouraged me to just do it because if you wait for the perfect time, you'll never do it. I lost my dad. He was 59. That was 43 years ago. My dad passed away.
Yeah.
We lost a super close friend of mine last year, Bill Anderson. Rest in peace, Willie. And another really close friend a year before that. And you just start realizing how short life is. Yeah. So my wife and daughter said, just you got to do it. Just retire. So I did. Now my mom is still alive. She's 99 and like 7 months. She lives just up the street from me. And I've been pretty much taking care of her for the last 40 years. The last 10 years have been tough because she's not driving. She's 89, 90 at the time. Luckily I have my brother who lives in North Aurora, helps out, but it's a lot. And between working full time and taking care of my mom, I had no time, none. Right. So when I finally retired, I said, I'm going to start doing, as my daughter describes it, your second act. And I loved writing, always loved writing. Mm-hmm. So I said, I'm going to start writing. So the first thing I did was I wrote a couple poems. I entered them in a contest. And I said, I'm going to get back into writing. A great American novel, which is still a work in progress. Yes. But then this website, wonderful website called Metal Temple, was looking for writers to review albums. So I sent in my resume of writing and going to concerts. And they liked it. And they hired me to be a writer. So I review albums, 2 albums a week. And I've been doing a bunch of interviews now. I interviewed Jeff Tate. I interviewed Eric Martin. I got Vinnie Moore from Alice Cooper and UFO out there. Hopefully that interview is going to come back. So it's just been a lot of fun to get back into writing. I've got I collaborate, and then I took a creative writing class at College of DuPage, and the instructor, who's written a lot of books as well, got 12 of his students together, and I was luckily chosen to be one of them, and we've collaborated on a book which should be published in the next couple of months. It's all of us writing a chapter, but then he combines it into one book. It's about a jewel heist that goes bad.
Nice.
And now he's got another project of short stories, and I'm going to be writing a short story for that, and that should be published in about 2 months as well. But I think I told Vince this. I'm at a writer's block right now. I can't get to the finish line on this book, so I'm hoping something kicks me in the ass in the next few days and gets me. So just writing, and I still dabble with songs. I'll putz around with songs, and it's just fun. It's just fun to finally be having the time to do what I want to do
and to be creative.
Yeah.
Okay, so try this. This may work, and if not, the benefit is you'll get a fucking free nap out of it. When I'm stuck, when I'm writing, I'll have my 3 questions or whatever it is that I'm trying to get expressed or whatever. Boom. Go take a nap and think about that when I go to sleep. Take a nap, wake up 30, 45 minutes later, and it's there.
Okay. Worth a shot.
Yeah. I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Pulls it out of your subconscious.
Could be the drugs, kids.
Yeah.
But,
I've been staring at this page for like 2 days now going, how do I get there?
Yeah, you can't force it, that's for sure.
Yeah, write about something else. Look out the window and write what that is, and then put it into whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm probably pushing myself. I should put it away for a couple of days. And,
absolutely.
Just go on a bender somewhere, and those always help.
Right. So we get a hey from California, Wendy from Sacramento, Maidens of Metal. What's happening? There you go.
Horns up.
Yep. Horns up, ladies. What a cool group. It's a nonprofit, and they work on behalf of local bands. They help market, and they do promotions and fundraisers, and they've been nothing but cool to our channel and really supportive. So horns up to our sisters out in Sacramento. Thank you very much.
Hope you're safe from the rains.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Boy.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah, because when I lived in California, we were lucky if we get rain 2-3 days a year.
Right.
And it wasn't like, wasn't like the rains we got here, but where you live, Jason. But holy, they're getting fucking hammered. But wildfires and earthquakes and but it's a beautiful place to live. What are you gonna do? We got tornadoes. East Coast has fucking the East Coast.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a perfect place. You're always subject to something.
Yeah, there's something. Yeah, exactly. At least it's not Sasquatch. But,
or is it?
Or is it? Okay, now let's talk about one of the greatest metal bands, Queensryche. So, what do you love about Queensryche, Fred?
The first time I heard Queensryche was in a record store.
I'm sorry. What does your shirt say before people freak out? Okay.
Make America Metal Again.
Right on.
It's what it's what I'm running on in 2024. So I'm looking for a vice president if you guys are interested.
Fred for president.
Screw the rest of it. Let's keep America Metal again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the first time I'll
be your press guy in the press room. Hey, you shut the fuck up. Sit down, jackass. Hey,
that's what we'll run as.
Jagoff, you in the red.
Sit your ass down.
Sit your ass down.
We'll run as the fucked up party. What the hell?
Don't you dare call it sauce. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. So I picked up the very first EP, the 5-song EP by Queensryche. I didn't know who they were. I picked them up.
All time.
Yeah, I put it on at home, and I heard Jeff start screaming on Queen of the Reich, and I said, "Holy shit!" It was another holy shit moment.
Yeah.
I said, "Holy crap! Who is this band?"
Right.
And that was my introduction to him. I fell in love with him. The next albums came out, loved them. In my opinion, Operation Mindcrime is still the greatest album ever recorded. I can listen to that album nonstop every day and never get tired of it.
Yeah. It's
So,
amazing.
of course, I've seen Queensryche the most of any band I've ever seen. Queensryche and Jeff Tate solo band. Every time they came to town, we saw them. And so we were at one of their shows at the Arcade a few years ago. And Jeff and his wife, Susan, run a tour company called Backstage Pass Travel. So we asked Susan about it because she was behind the merchandise table with actually their daughter too. Said, what's it about? They said, well, Jeff, we go on tours to Europe and Montana and Seattle, Germany, Scotland, and Jeff is your tour guide the whole time. We're like, no way, Jeff Tate? Yeah. So we put it on the back burner, and about a year later, my wife and I were talking, and we said, let's give this a shot. What the fuck? So I went on the website and I asked a question, and about 2 hours later, my phone rings, and I see the caller IDs from Washington. I go, So I pick it up, and it's Susan Tate, Jeff's wife. She goes, you had some questions? I go, you're Jeff's wife? Is Jeff there? Say hi to him for me. So it told us what the trip was all about. We signed up, and it is exactly as advertised. You are on the tour like 7 days. Jeff's there the whole time, and the band, and Susan, and you're just going on adventures all day. You're drinking with them. You're hanging with them.
That's cool.
Your guitars come out every night. You start singing. I mean, we had the most unbelievable time. We met some of the greatest people. I hope they're watching tonight. Kim and Ray, and John and Louise, Thomas, Julie, Jenny, Lori. Hope some of those people are watching tonight. We made friends for life. They break out the guitars every night, and you just start singing. And my wife sings. So I had asked Kieran, the guitar player, I said, they had heard my wife sing the night before. We were just hanging around. So they brought her up there. They were both singing, both playing, Alex and Kieran, the guitar players. And they got my wife up there, and she got to sing with them. It was a thrill of a lifetime.
Nice.
And it was amazing. And they take you on these unbelievable tours. So we said, well, we did it. And that's it. And, of course, we signed up the next year to do Montana. And now we're going to Italy in May with them again. So,
Nice.
and now you're like friends with the band. They're just so great. They're just amazing people.
That's awesome. Totally awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And, Queensryche, like I said, that song literally saved my life. So I was 17 years old, living in my car, winter Chicago winter, cold as fuck. So when I would go to bed, when I would go to sleep, I would put my sleeping bag and then my clothes. And this isn't a woe's me thing. I'm just explaining, what. So I'd put my clothes on top of me, and then in the morning I'd wake up and I'd have to scrape the windows, breathing, because you can't leave the car running. And that was the first song I would listen to in the morning. And that song, dude, my favorite song of all time, Take Hold of the Flame. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I met the Queensryche guys, fucking Scott was like, I'm like, hey man, I told him the story. He's like, well, you're better now, aren't you? I'm like, oh dude, fuck. I'm like, yeah, like, thanking you. Fuck. But he must have had a bad day. But anyway, the rest of the dudes were cool from Queensryche. Todd was a stand-up guy. But yeah, yeah, man, what is it about? Because when I first heard him, man, I was a singer, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up, and it was to Take Hold of the Flame.
Oh
yeah. We knew the EP was out, but we didn't get to see them until the Japanese music
the Live in Tokyo or whatever it was, right? Yeah.
That's when we first got to see him. And man, that band was just on
killer.
Yeah, they just fucking out of nowhere.
Yeah, I saw him on the Warning tour. That was the first time I'd ever seen him. Back in the day. It's great, man. Yeah, I was hooked after that.
Yeah, one of my funnier stories came from
the top 5 vocalists of all time. Absolutely.
I got him on the Mount Rushmore of singers.
Oh yeah,
I got Tate, Dio, Halford, and I'd probably throw Sebastian Bach in there.
Yeah,
but that fourth singer could be a lot of different people. But those 3 for sure, Tate, Halford, and Dio are without a doubt metal.
Yeah,
you can't go any better than that.
Right.
Mr. Ronnie James Dio.
I loved him, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just finished his autobiography, Rainbow in the Dark. A very
It's
Good
good.
book. Good
Yeah.
book. Yeah, tells you some things that you didn't know. I wasn't aware of all the stuff that Elf obviously before. And it's a good book.
Yeah. Did you
Good
see the
book.
documentary?
I have not. I've been
Yes.
trying to get it, and I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Heard it's good.
I was lucky enough. It was at the theater, my local theater, and yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, I got to see that. Dio's one of my favorite, and he's supposed to be supposed to have been one of the nicest people.
Oh, he was. I got to
Kim's-
spend some time with him. I recorded Black Sabbath back in the early '90s in Tampa, and it was on Dehumanizer, and I got to spend a little time with him before and after the show, and he was just nicest guy you ever wanted to meet.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a gentleman, as
Yep.
they say. But yeah, one of the things that Jason wants me to hurry up and write, Fred, is this little ditty here.
Yes. I've got some ideas too.
He meets the aliens.
He was the last thing they were expected.
You should put he was insatiable.
Yeah. Basically, the premise is I'm getting abducted by an alien, and I wake up, my character wakes up mid probe, and let's say I seek revenge.
Yeah, they got more than they bargained for.
And they bail.
That sounds like a movie on Cinemax.
I
Sorry.
remember
That I'm turning
we
off.
talked about that the other day. With, hey,
Oh,
Brad,
Yeah, the squiggly.
Yeah,
oh, I
I
saw
think I see a
I
breast.
saw an arm. I think I saw an arm. Yeah.
yeah.
That wasn't an arm.
Hey, lady, I'm here with your pizza.
Yeah.
Hey.
Not much was happening.
Right. So I hear there's your pipes need cleaning.
How did I know you were going to go to the plumber?
Yeah.
The plumber route.
Who is it?
It's the plumber. I come to fix the sink.
Uh-huh. But yeah, Jeff, when we also lost
Lisa Marie
Bobby
Presley.
Bachman. Well, Lisa Marie Presley, dude.
Yeah.
What a bummer, man.
And Robbie Knievel, I think you were going to say, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I didn't
Lisa Marie was only 54.
I had a crush on
That's
Lisa
young.
Marie, man, ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Holy moly. What a,
Did you ever get to Graceland?
boy, did I. No.
How do you turn everything dirty?
It's a
You met
superpower.
Yeah.
Because everything is dirty.
No, I have not. But
You got to get there. It's just an amazing tour. I'm not an Elvis fan, but it's so cool.
Yeah.
Just to see where Elvis ate, where he slept, where
now,
he recorded. I mean, it's just
now
it's a
down
cool
the street
tour.
from where I used to live in Northridge, okay, when I lived during the Northridge earthquake and fucking anyway, down the street from me. Okay, so Don Roscoe Boulevard, I think it was off of Roscoe. Anyway, so you go down this about a mile down, and Richard Pryor lived on one side of the street, and on the other side of the street from Richard Pryor was this Elvis impersonator from Vegas, and he had a mini Graceland that he built. So like I used to drive by Graceland every day. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny to me.
I got to know, did the real Richard Pryor get
wheeling, dude? Yeah.
Did he get pissed and like fight with the impersonator? I mean,
I don't know,
was
but I see Pryor and his wife, wheeling him down the sidewalk every now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, some crazy shit happens,
Oh yeah.
But all right, so you got any concerts coming up, Fred?
Next one will be next month. We're seeing Ornthi. I'm not going to pronounce her name wrong all the time.
Orianti, the guitar player.
Orianti. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's coming in February, and then got tickets for Slaughter in not till September.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it for right now. We got to be careful a little bit because my wife at the end of February is going in for hip replacement surgery, so we're going to have to lay low for just a little bit before we go to Italy with Jeff and the guys. So,
yeah.
But the thing about the Arcada is they always have great concerts coming up. Actually, Angel is coming there in March.
Wow.
Well, I can't go because I'm not sure how Kelly's going to be feeling.
I'm amazed those guys are still doing it. Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he sounds good.
Yeah.
Frank Domino, the lead singer, he sounds good.
Good.
So
Yeah.
I'm amazed at how good some of these guys do sound. The only guy that really didn't sound good at all was Don Dokken.
He's
I
having a
think
hard
Don,
time. Yeah.
He's having a
yeah,
hard
his
time with
voice
breathing.
his voice just sounded terrible, and
He's
it's
got
a shame
lung
because he's a
issues.
hell of a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite singers.
Oh yeah. It's awesome. Awesome.
But you know, can you
It's
imagine?
amazing.
Like, you know, you show up and you see, look at me and Jason, and you know, you're expecting this from like fucking 30 some years ago, and these old bastards are there, you know.
Yeah. What a letdown.
But anyway, yeah, because of the support from the Sacramento Maidens of Metal, tune in next week. Apart from the Jeff Beck and Stevie Wonder, will be rockin' led bands by some incredible women who can play their ass off. And
I'm totally psyched that we found somebody that actually likes us. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. You know,
yeah, that's
I mean,
great.
have you seen yourself? I mean, shit.
That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, I've actually like looked in the mirror before and like scared the shit out of myself.
Got some hard miles on.
Holy
me,
shit! Yeah. But yeah, who's the old guy looking back? You know? Thinking you're all like Nikki Sixx, 1986 or something.
Yeah, no. I don't ever think that. Trust me.
Right, exactly. But you know, as always, of course, you can find us on Spotify, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we just
for God's sakes, it's just your thumb. Just do that.
Even
it
if
doesn't cost you anything.
Even if you're like, fuck you, like fuck you.
If you hate us, just pretend that you're gonna you're wishing like 7 years of bad luck on us, and just
in your eye, you know, But you know, everything helps. But please subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. It only takes a half a second.
Yeah.
But and as always, if you're a veteran, of course, and feeling like you need to talk to someone, please pick up the phone. Call 1-800-273-8255. Press 1. We know that the phone can be the heaviest lift that there is, but there is someone there to talk to you, and never think you're not worth it, because you are. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
And you know, so Jason was once talking to me on or not talking to me. Who are you talking to on the phone when you zipped up your pants and you accidentally did a screenshot? I always make up some kind of thing to make fun of this. I love this picture. You know, here we go.
Yeah.
Jason Clark, assassin.
Right.
Truck driver by day.
Assassin
by night.
But and if you've seen Andrew, tell him to come on the show, Mr. Andrew Sheffield.
What about me? That's gonna cost me.
Look at those knees, man.
Yeah. And yeah, we did the White Snake crossover for December. Thanks, Jason, for listen to that. But you know what? I found out the White Snake album of 1996 is my favorite.
See, you're welcome.
Yeah, found a great. What a great album, dude.
Yeah,
great album. My favorite White Snake. But so yeah, actually, we're going to be doing Judas Priest Part 1 and 2 in the end of January, at the end of February.
Nice.
So that's the crossover with Mr. Pat Catalano, and we call that Creativity Speaks. And Pat's a good dude.
Oh yeah.
So go check out the Beard Speaks podcast as well. And here's me before I had the growth removed. But yeah, so go to vincentcustos.com, check out some stuff, and don't forget to buy merch and all that kind of good shit. You know, like this and man shirt. I'm sure that'll piss off. Yeah, yeah, buy that for Valentine's Day just to piss people off. But meanwhile, we'll be fucking off. So please stand by. And Fred, how can people get in touch with you if they want to? Let's say they're a band. Let's say they're a band and they want someone to review their album. How should they get a hold?
Boy, I guess the best way would be my email right now. That's all I got, which is, write this down. It's happyhour69 at Comcast.net. Happyhour69 at Comcast.net.
You can tell Fred
was ready
for that one.
Yeah.
Hot Tub 69 leathercock.com.
Had to make me give that out. Huh?
Absolutely. Sorry about that. You could have just said, "Hey,
He was-
go check out my Facebook."
Oh yeah, check
Fred-
out my Facebook.
Fred
I
was
guess
like,
I should have said that.
He goes, I can't believe it. I can't believe
Can
this.
you hit the
is
reverse button on
Roll.
this now? Yeah, or Facebook. Facebook, just Fred Bonanno, as you can see the name down there. And
That's going in the.
send me anything you want. I'll be happy to review it. Happy to come out and see your bands.
Absolutely, but that's going in the best of for 2023.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
You want my social security number too, and my bank accounts?
No, I already
Just throw
got
that
that.
out there too.
Already got that. But I bought it off of some kind of crypto link chain bullshit that some kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was actually a bot working for Russia. But yeah, Jason, got anything left to say there, sir?
No, not really. No, I just I'm no, I'm just laughing about
Oh my God, that's
yeah. That's
Can't
the
wait to see
greatest.
what kind of emails I get now.
Yeah. Ribbedballsack.com and oh my God! Every time I see you now, Fred, I'm going to come up with a new email for you.
Oh, Rubber Ramrod 69. Can't believe that wasn't taken.
Her name
already.
was Sally.com.
Oh my God! I'm going to go on all night about this. Holy shit!
Ah,
But that's why we love you, Fred.
Fantastic, man.
So
it's good to be loved.
if you want to read your reviews, they can see you see your work at Metal
Temple, right?
It's metal-temple.com, metal-temple.com. Great website. You can see all the interviews and reviews on there. And check out my Facebook page. You can check out Metal Temple on Facebook. A lot of great metal out there. A lot of great metal.
And so who's your favorite new, like if you had do you have 5 great new bands
that people should check out?
Eva Under Fire. Have you heard that song? Blow. Kick-ass song.
Eva Under Fire?
Eva Under Fire.
Okay.
I'm sure everybody's heard of Shaman's Harvest. Got into them, love them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a band out there called Light the Torch. People, I don't think they're super new. Huge into Breaking Benjamin. I love Breaking Benjamin. I know not metal, but I love Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah, great songs.
Beast in Black, great band. Inglorious, another great kick-ass band.
Yeah, I was listening.
There's some great. And then Sophie Lloyd just released a new album. Another female shredder. She's awesome too.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, she's awesome too.
King's Queen, hey, from California. That's Wendy, our best friend on the website ever.
Hi, Wendy.
Absolutely. Jason, going to say hey?
Hey, Wendy.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got to have you guys on. We should have Wendy on.
Yeah, why not?
Absolutely. Anyway, so yeah, there's a few things coming up. Let's see. Joe Bonamassa is playing with Eric Gales on my birthday, so I think I'm going to have to go see that.
You should.
And I think that's at Sweetwater.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Fort Wayne.
Nice. Yeah.
Then Anthony Gomes is playing, going to be playing local, so I'm going to try to see him, and Austin Moe and Jared James Nichols is going to be in town with a bunch of other guys. So there's a lot coming up. As far as that, some people we've reviewed, might as well have them on. And
absolutely,
it's really cool that the artists that we're doing reaction videos to are coming on, and they trust us because we're not here to shit on your music. If you want us to react to your band, send it in. If we don't love it, we won't play it, but we're not going to give you shit about it either.
Yeah,
that's it's our interpretation of what we like. Has no reflection on, because everyone's least favorite song is someone's favorite song.
Absolutely.
But
just look at the pop music industry.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Lots of people like it.
Well, okay, Fred. Aliens land on Earth.
Vince is your only defense.
You have
kissing my ass goodbye.
You have one album.
If one album
with
and
me?
Vince
One
with a
album.
bottle of Viagra, that's your only hope.
You have one album to give them, and if heavy metal could save the world, they have one album. What would that one album be?
Probably what I mentioned earlier, Operation Mindcrime.
It's a very
Still love that
great
album
album.
from start to finish.
Album
Yes.
is so fucking great.
Just still love that
We
album
should have
from
like a
start to
round
finish.
table on that one.
Oh, you could, man.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
album is
We'll get Pat on. 4 of us talk about Operation Mindcrime. That is just amazing.
So, do you remember where you were when you first heard that album?
Well, I
No.
do. No, sorry.
I was probably cuddling with Vince somewhere. Oh wait, that's another story for another day.
Right.
No, I really don't. I just remember loving Queensryche, and
Yeah.
when it came out, I probably came home, bought it sight unseen, put it on a turntable, shut the lights off, probably rolled the fatty up and said,
Yeah.
"Take me," and they did.
I don't know. I was, I'm from New York, and I remember there was some sort of, I can't remember the name, but it was some syndicated radio show, and they had,
T-Rock.
yeah, they had like Jeff and Chris on, and they were doing like song by song. It was like a album release show, and I had headphones on in the dark in my room, and I was just.
Is it
glued,
Redbeard?
man. No, I want to say it was like a kind of like a King Biscuit Flower Hour deal or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I remember just being like, "Holy shit, man, this is killer," you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it blew me away.
Yeah, I went home after first I was working, so I bought the CD right after work, or the tape, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
probably a tape.
And
Tape,
vinyl
it was
back
tape,
then,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, but it didn't fit in my jean jacket, bro. Cassette's gotta fit in the pocket, my brother. So went to the record store, went right home, smoked a bowl, started drinking, and we sat there in the dark and listened to this fucking album, and it was like
unreal
shit.
Yeah,
because I've always been a fan of concept albums. Like Billy Thorpe, Children of the Sun. That album, dude. What are you squeezing one? Don't shit yourself, Jason.
I never could get into Billy Thorpe. No offense.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
No, that's all right. It's not country. Yeah. No. Children of the Sun is one of my favorite songs. But
yeah,
it's okay. You don't have to like it, Jay.
I don't. We'll agree to disagree on that one.
Okay, Jason, you have one album.
One album for the aliens, or they're gonna
Operation Mindcrime has already been put out there, so there's 2 other slots for the 3 greatest metal albums.
I'm gonna say
or hard rock.
I'm gonna say Number of the Beast, Iron Maiden.
Nice. Now it's left to me.
Yes. There could only be one.
Yeah. What would it be? This is interesting. Okay. So we have I'd have to put the Dio album in.
Which one?
Holy Diver?
What's that?
Or Holy Diver or Last in Line?
Holy Diver.
Oh man.
It's tough.
Yeah. Man,
Can we let him combine those two? Can he combine those two?
Absolutely not. He has to
double
choose
album?
one. No, he has to choose one.
Come on, the earth depends on it.
Last in line. Yeah. Dio last in line.
Yeah. That's a great
I
album.
like those choices. I like those choices.
Yeah. But I mean, there's so many. Dude, we came up in a time where there's so many great albums.
Good.
A lot of the stuff now, I hear it's way too processed, and keep the mistakes in, guys. Keep the burps and the burps of fat wrinkles and the stress.
And for God's sakes, whatever you do, don't make it sound Don't make it sound European, or Vince will hate it.
Yeah, none of that European bullshit. I said last week, Jason's like, "What? I can't believe you said what." You know what I mean? Like the too many keyboarded up that okay.
Yeah.
It's like, no, man, let me hear you rock. Don't auto tune. It's metal, man. Don't just fucking rip it, dude.
Yeah.
dudette, you know.
Right.
But yeah, you know, that's kind of what turned me off, and that's why I didn't listen to heavy metal for a long time, because it all went that way for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and then with kids and everything else and blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
it's been quite the adventure finding these new tunes, and you know, that's cool to be surprised by something, and to, you know, still be surprised at music and finding new stuff, man. So
Absolutely.
there you go. So we're gonna wrap it up for this one, our 100th episode of CreatiVity Talkin.
I feel honored to be on the 100th episode.
That's
I
right.
hope there will be 101, and they will go, get rid of this guy.
Yeah. Well, it's actually we actually started at 100. You know, like you get like a checkbook. Well, you got to
The
start at
debut.
100. You know, you can't start at
Yeah.
0. We started, you know, like a college checkbook at 100, and so this is episode 200, and yeah, so you'll have to come on before the other show. Fred, every time you go see a show, every time you got something to say, just come on. You're welcome.
If you guys will have me back, I will
Absolutely.
definitely be back.
Absolutely.
This was a
Even if you wanna
blast. This
pop
was an
in
absolute
20
blast.
Give us
We'll have you jump on. You go to a show, you jump on, you give us a review of the show,
Yeah.
and you know, if you had a hang afterwards backstage, we'll talk about that. You know,
Yeah, I'll see if I can even throw some stuff on the phone, and you guys can download it, right?
that'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Because I told my wife before this came on how it's amazing how people come into your life. I met Vince through his friend Scott. Just happened to be at the bar Scott was working at one night. 3 weeks ago, my wife's company had a Christmas dinner at Maggiano's. So I dropped her off and I said, I'll sit in the bar and have a beer and something to eat. And your friend Scott was in there and we started talking music, and he goes, gotta be my friend Vince. And he goes, his name's Kush Tush. And I go, seriously, what's his last name? He goes, no, that's his last name. And so he hooked us up and we met Thursday, and I said, it's amazing how we just out of the blue, I was able to hook up with you guys.
What do they say? Like 6 degrees of separation, right? You know?
Yeah. So it's amazing, and music always brings us together. That's
Absolutely.
what it is.
Uh-huh. And
music.
and
Like
on
that
the
other
profile
shit, it's music.
picture, he has Ace Frehley.
Oh yeah, do your ace. Come on, do your ace.
I don't want to do ice. Come on. What are you guys doing? Hey, can the girls be closer to me?
Yeah. Not too many people do an Ace Frehley, but anyway.
I love it. I love it.
Ace Frehley gave me and Scott shit one day, and so I always talk about that. You know, because me and Scott were like right there, and you know, together, and we were with a couple of girls, but they weren't huge Kiss fans. They're you know, knew who they were and are okay, but you know, they weren't huge, like, you know, having Kiss concerts in your room 365, you know, 7 days a week, you know. And so he's like, usually the girls sort of wants to get close. You know, I'm like, fuck them. They didn't do Kiss concerts in their room. And he started laughing. But I'm like, yeah, man. No, I've waited my whole life to meet you, Ace Frehley. I'm not.
I'm gonna go to 10 on your leg if I want to. Ace.
Yeah,
Just
cool guy. He thought it was funny. I made Ace Frehley laugh, and you know, after the Tom Snyder interview, hearing Ace Frehley laugh at your joke is even better. But what are you gonna do? All right. Well, we will see everyone next Saturday, and we will see you every. Oh, hold on a second. Hey, the bourbon's kicking in, Jason. Can you tell? So the reaction videos are probably going to be really funny because we tape them after this show. And last week we're all fresh and bright. This week,
not so much.
Funny. But you know, you can check out CreatiVity Talkin Tunage every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They drop at 6 a.m. Sometimes later if I, you know, forget. But man, what are you going to do? So and then. Next Saturday, we'll be back live right here from the Vaudeville Studios and from the base headquarters of Knuckle Dragger Inc. We will see you next week. Jason, love you, brother. Fred, love you, man. Nice meeting you, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Fred, thank you,
awesome.
brother.
Have you on.
I want to be back. I hope you'll have me back.
Oh, absolutely.
You're welcome anytime. And if you're just sitting at home, dial in and say, hey, man, can I hop on? Yeah, absolutely. Always makes it better. Right, cool. And if this is true, awesome. You know, I'm not totally 100% this is true. Someone reported that it was. But since we lost this legend, you know, if this is true, man, we'll talk about the greatest last words ever from an artist. Living is life is for the living, death is for the dead. Let life be like the music, and death be like the note unsaid. That is the supposed final words of Mr. Jeff Beck. Fly free, Mr. Beck, and we'll see you guys next time. Horns up.